Brother Malik Yagubi.
Assalamu alaikum. So I want to change it up a bit. I want to talk in front of you guys. Can you hear me? I don't use the mic. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Malik Yagubi. I'm 16 years old. I currently attend Catharines in Churchill, and I'm going to be starting my grade 11 year this September. So I have a presentation slide for you. There's not much words on it, so don't worry. Let's just jump right in. So the word woke. What comes to mind when that word is brought up? So the proper English definition would be the past tense of wake, to wake up in the morning, get out of bed. But the slang word definition is to be attentive to the surrounding environment and to be aware of social and political injustice occurring in the world. So who heard the word woke in terms of slang definition? You've heard the word of the word woke. Okay, so a little background on the word. It's gained popularity in 2011, and it was used to describe an individual who is informed, questioning, and self-educating. So let's do an icebreaker activity.
Excuse me.
Yes.
In that sense, is it a verb or a noun? Because I haven't heard that at all. Oh, how woke are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. So we're gonna do a little icebreaker activity. So I'm sure that a lot of you guys already been to open houses for high schools, and you've been told some of the requirements to graduate. So I brought candy. So I'm gonna ask questions, and hopefully I'm expecting you guys to answer them. So how many hours of community service do you have to do to graduate? Okay.
40.
40. Okay. Okay, so what test do you have to do in grade 10 that you have to pass to graduate?
UKO.
Yes, EQAO, OSSLT. Okay, and how many credits do you need to graduate?
33.
30. But I'll give you a candy for just reading. And I'll give everyone else a candy. Just so you don't feel bad. Do you know how many of the credits have to be compulsory? As in, like, you have to do it, and then how many of them are optional?
6.
18 credits you have to do. You have no choice. And then 12 you get to pick. Which ones you want to do? Anyways, so maybe next time you'll be more woke. The next time they talk to you about your graduation requirements. So I'm gonna move on to a bit of a more heavier topic, Islamophobia. We live in an era of terrorism, and every day on the news we hear something, and if it's a terrorist attack, it's usually tied to a Muslim. So how to be woke about it? I said Islamophobia, etc., because I want it to be open to not only being a Muslim and facing Islamophobia, but also racism, sexism, something we all face. When you enter high school, you start to learn that it's not like elementary school where everyone just gets along, you know, we're all just kids. It doesn't matter where you're from, who you are. Everyone starts to have opinions, questions, get curious. So I personally, in school, one day there were kids at a computer and they were looking at a screen and it was like some kind of image. It was making fun of Muslims. So I confronted them like, what are you guys looking at? What are you doing? So one of the kids asked me, he's like, isn't it true that if a Muslim sister doesn't wear hijab, well, he didn't say sister, but if a Muslim girl didn't wear her hijab, she's stoned to death by her father. So I was like, I was shocked. I didn't know what to say at the moment. I couldn't believe that's what people thought, but you know, if you don't know a Muslim and you never met one and you've never asked them questions, they're just gonna go by what they heard on the media. So I told them that's not true. It's between a Muslim girl and Allah, the God, on if she wants to wear the hijab or not. It's between her and God. So that's what I told them. And these situations tend to happen often. I'm pretty sure everyone on this panel experienced something in which you ask a weird question about Islam. Maybe like, especially because you're going to be fasting Ramadan during school, so you might get the question of, oh, so you're not allowed to eat, but you can drink water, right? Or maybe, oh, you have to fast an entire month? I'd be dead by now. But like, they don't understand that Ramadan is considered a month of blessings, and other good things that come from it. So like it's your job to, as a Muslim, to educate people, to let them know about what's it called? What's it like to be a Muslim, and other things like that. So pointers to staying woke is to stay educated. So know your deen, explore your religion, so you're prepared to answer a question when someone asks you, and to be attentive, be aware of your surroundings, because you never know what's going on. Maybe someone is interpreting false information about Muslims. Are you going to just sit there and watch, or are you going to say something? And ask questions. So if you don't know something about your deen, ask someone who knows, your parents, someone who's knowledgeable about the religion, an imam, and read between the lines. So when something happens and you just consume what's going on, you're not really analyzing the situation. But when you analyze the situation and you think about it, and you think about what to do, you're being woke. And also to possess empathy. And what I mean by possess empathy, you're putting yourself in a position, like you're putting yourself in a position of, let's say, for example, the person who's saying false information about Islam. You're putting yourself in their position, seeing what kind of information they get, what image they're getting. So you're almost looking at it from different perspectives so that you can understand why they're saying such things. So you might ask, why do I have to be woke though? Like, what's the point? The reason why you should be woke is because you might be faced with a situation as Muslims in which you have to educate someone, you have to defend your religion. That could happen big time. And if you're not woke, other people view you as ignorant. Maybe, like, for example, your fellow Muslims, they'll think, wow, oh, you don't know anything about your religion. Like, are you really a Muslim? Like, no one should question if you're a Muslim, but, you know, people have their own opinions. And also, if you're woke, you're being sensitive to what's wrong and what's right. You're being able to identify such things. And the benefit from it is that if you're attentive in school, if you're woke, you're more of a responsible student, and you're paying attention to your academics. And you also gain respect as a person if you're woke to social issues and injustices. People see you as a knowledgeable, developed person. So that was my talk on being woke. I'm going to give you guys a 30-second break because I'm kind of a lot. So before I move on to my next topics. Okay. So are you guys ready for a whole load of me talking again? Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about self-doubt and what is my mind telling me, but what am I actually capable of doing? So I am someone who's extremely guilty of self-doubt. I doubt myself all the time. I think I'm interested in doing something, but I hesitate because I feel that I'm not capable of doing such a thing. And alhamdulillah, I've been able to overcome self-doubt in certain situations, so I'll talk a little bit about my experiences. For example, I am on the swim team at school. I've been on the swim team in grade 9 and grade 10, but when I first started, it was very difficult for me. I was a self-taught swimmer, so I don't know the techniques and everything. So when I went for the tryout, it was very, very hard for me. The workouts they gave us, it was extremely hard. Like I was dead by then. I was extremely tired. I went home. I told my parents, I'm like, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to go back. I don't want to continue with this. I just don't want to do it. But my parents, they encouraged me to do it. They said, why don't you go to the next tryout, see what happens? And I took their word after arguing a bit. And I went back and the next practice, and I kept on going and I kept on going. And alhamdulillah, that year in grade 9, I went to SASA. It's a Southern Ontario Division competition. And I went with a relay. We didn't make it to the OPSA, the Ontario competition, but I still was able to make it there. And I improved, and that gave me the motivation to do it again next year. So I did swimming again this past year in grade 10, and I went to SASA again. This time I actually went as an individual event, like as by myself, not in a relay, which was an accomplishment for me. That's something I wanted to do. And I placed top 5 in my category. I did not make it to OPSA, sadly, but I did. I was able to reach top 5, and inshallah, maybe this year I'll make it to OPSA. Another experience in which I had self-doubt was with yearbook. So I'm also part of the yearbook club, and I joined just at the beginning of my grade 10 year because my friend told me to join it. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And when I joined yearbook, I really liked the environment of it. it involves you taking pictures of school events and sports and clubs and making pages, and you're creating basically a book of memories for people to look at 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now. And my editor, so there's an editor basically, so she's the leader of the club, she approves everything, she directs everyone, and she was talking about who's going to be next year's editor, because she's going to graduate, so we need a new editor. So my friend who invited me to do yearbook, she was interested in becoming editor. But I thought to myself, I also want to be in this position. I think I can do it. But I was doubting myself because, one, I didn't want to just take my friend's position, and she was in yearbook the year before. And I thought, I've been only in it for a year, so I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to be an editor. But alhamdulillah, I really worked hard in the club. I always was very enthusiastic when it came to events and stuff like that. And this coming year, inshallah, me and my friend are going to be co-editors of our yearbook. And I'm just excited to pursue that. So the basics, self-doubt. It's very simple. You have to be motivated. If you want to accomplish something, if you want to join an extracurricular activity, if you want to be a part of student council, or whatever it is you want to achieve, you have to be motivated. You have to be interested. You have to be interested in what you're doing. You can't. If you have no interest, then you're not likely to be able to accomplish what you want to do. You have to be committed. If you're not committed, you're not able to accomplish what you want to do, and also to enjoy it. It's really important for you to enjoy this activity or whatever you want to do. So it just brings a positive energy in. So as you can see at the bottom of the slide, the what if question that's crawling up. So what if? That's one of the main questions that you get when you're doubting yourself. What if I can't do this? What if I fail? What if I don't like it? And if that's the case, maybe it was meant for it to be that way. If you fail, think about it this way. If you fail at something that you wanted to do, maybe that is what is best for you, and that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala believes is the best for you. And don't stop, just continue, be committed, find something else you're interested in, because there will be something. There's a lot of things you can do in high school in which gets your interest. So to sum it up, I'm still very indecisive, especially, for example, on my future. I'm still hesitant about what I want to pursue as a career, and not this year, but next year, I'm going to have to start sending in university applications, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but inshallah I figure it out. So just everyone experiences self-doubt, and we're all still growing up as people, and we all should continue growing as people. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Malik.